What's up guys, Nathan here. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that Metamorph is bugged, the Atlas mechanics are changing every day, and I've ripped 3 portal sets trying to avoid storms in the Awakener fight. The good news is that I've been able to play a ton of Conquerors of the Atlas, so I wanted to at least bring you a video about a few of the tips and tricks I've picked up since the update. So without further ado, let's jump in. To the more experienced players out there, this may seem like a no-brainer, but I've talked to way too many people in the last week that don't seem to understand the value of sextants. In case you don't know what sextants do, basically they add all kinds of goodies to your maps. These benefits can range from adding more monsters, to making currency shards drop, to adding extra maps to the boss's drop table. Basically, they're fantastic tools for improving your map sustain and increasing your average currency gains per map, and I wouldn't run red maps without them. The reason why I've included sextants on this list is because they're currently in the best spot they've ever been. First of all, they're at an all-time low price, with the new Awakened Sextants trading for only 2 Chaos apiece, around 1 Chaos lower than Master Sextants from previous leagues at around the same time. Secondly, the new Watchstone system means you can start using Sextants to their fullest potential far more easily than before. No more slogging through Zana's questline or painstakingly shaping your Atlas. All you need is a single region with 4 Watchstones and you're good to go. The major drawback of Sextants is that if influence spawns in a region you're trying to farm, you'll be unable to reapply them to your Watchstones until you kill the Conqueror. However, due to this note from patch 3.9.1, I'm willing to bet this is a bug and will likely be fixed in the near future. So I talked about this a bit in my last video, but I think I did a poor job of explaining just how insane this mod is. It simply reads, killed enemies explode, dealing 3% of their maximum life as physical damage. But it's so much cooler than it sounds. Here's a quick rundown of how the mod works. It's physical damage, which means it can be converted and scaled in all kinds of different ways. Penetration, elemental overload, and non-chaos gained as extra chaos damage can lead to some crazy high damage explosions. Playing an ambush and assassinate build should also allow it to crit pretty consistently, but I personally haven't tested this. The explosion can chain, meaning that killing a single monster will often lead to several packs in the vicinity instantly exploding. It's like old Elementalist Impulsa, but without all the lag. It's a prefix for item level 85 Crusader influenced body armor, so the most you're giving up to use this fun toy is some life or a specific unique. The TLDR for this tip is to get yourself a chest with this mod ASAP. It literally turned my Blade Vortex Chieftain from a decently well-rounded character into a borderline speed mapper. The only catch is you have to kill the enemies yourself, so indirect skills such as mines, totems, and minions don't work. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the only catch. This mod is also pretty expensive, with decent chests with it going for around 6 exalts. You can also try to roll it yourself with alteration orbs, but the odds are insanely low. I personally spent over 3,000 alts before I gave up and just bought a pre-crafted chest. Normally, I wouldn't be big on sharing borderline exploits on this channel, but due to the buggy and bullshit nature of the Awakener fight, I feel like people should be able to attempt it a bit more often than GGG probably intended. Sirius the Awakener requires that you kill the 4 Conquerors. The first time you spawn him, you'll have to do this 5 times, once for each number of Watchstones that can be socketed into a region. After that, you can attempt the Awakener fight every 4 Conquerors you kill, which becomes the structure for the rest of the endgame experience. However, spawning the Conquerors themselves can also be annoying, since they simply have a 33% chance to show up in any uninfluenced region with 4 Watchstones socketed. After showing up 3 times, you kill them, they despawn, and you keep doing that until you've spawned the Awakener. In my opinion, this is frustrating because it forces you to run at least tier 14 maps, which can actually require a bit of effort to sustain. So, if you want to speed up this process, just do the following. Run maps in a 4 Watchstoned region of your choice until you spawn influence, preferably somewhere you haven't yet obtained all your Watchstones in. Instead of continuing to run the correct maps to proc the second and third appearances of the Conqueror, start running white maps from the same region. Don't finish the white maps, just open them up, run in, kill a handful of packs, and leave. Do this until Keurig discovers the location of the Citadel, kill the Conqueror, then rinse and repeat until you've respawned Sirius. The obvious downside to this method is that you need a decently large pool of white maps to work with, but if you're trying to spawn Conquerors as quickly as possible, this will shave off a good 2/3 of the time needed to do so. Just keep in mind, this might get patched out, so feel free to check the comments below before dumping dozens of white maps into this strategy. In the past, ailments were considered a fact of life to be casually mitigated via flasks and proper gameplay. And while this is still a completely viable way of playing the game, the traditionally less relevant ailments, ignite and shock, are becoming a bigger deal than ever before. So, if you're looking for a second or third build to play this league, consider investing in ailment immunity. Some fantastic ascendancy choices for this include Saboteur's Pyromaniac, Pathfinder's Master Alchemist, Raider's Avatar of the Veil, Inquisitor's Pious Path, and Elementalist's Liege of the Primordial. Another ailment you've probably noticed sneaking up on you this patch is poison, especially when dealing with the new Hunter influence in maps. This can actually be solved on any character by putting a Divine Vessel in the map device when you run the Desert Spring map. Upon killing the boss, the vessel will be filled, allowing you to take it to Sin in the epilogue, who will in turn power up one of your lesser pantheons to grant poison immunity. If you've killed at least 4 unique Conquerors, you've likely socketed all your Watchstones into a Citadel, only to see this crazy screen pop up in the middle of your Atlas. This is your Awakening level, which is a key component to how you interact with the new Atlas. As you can probably guess just by skimming its effects, increasing your Awakening level is a good thing. It means more maps, more uniques, and more currency. It even gives an additional flat chance for a connected map to drop when you kill a map boss, leading to better sustain within specific regions of the Atlas. However, your Awakening level is also a bit of a double-edged sword, as it increases the effects of map mods as well as adds an additional multiplier to boss life. This means that map mods can reach new heights in terms of making monsters absurdly tanky, as well as significantly increasing the damage they deal. If you want to learn more about getting woke, I'll be linking an excellent video by my friend Grimro in the description below. I'm only playing at around level 2, whereas he's gone all the way to level 8 and taken the time to figure out if it's worth the effort or not. My last tip may sound kind of hokey and obvious, but let me explain. This league is hard. We're dealing less DPS than we used to, monsters are way tankier, and incoming damage is higher than ever before. Shaper used to have 18 million life, and now he has 68 million. I used to be a huge proponent of telling people 1 million DPS was overkill, and that you could easily kill Uber Elder with less than half that and a bit of practice. Even for my own builds, I would sometimes be happy with just a couple 100,000 DPS if the build was tanky enough. But now, I honestly believe you can't get away with that anymore. If you want to do all content on a build, you're going to want plenty of effective life, serious defensive layers, and millions of DPS. This means that the bar has been raised and your characters need to be ready to meet it. I'm sure some of you will be less than pleased to hear this, but look at it this way. If you stick with a character, fine-tune your build, and gradually invest in better items, you'll be rewarded. This isn't Legion or Abyss where speedrunning white maps is more profitable than endgame bossing. Path of Exile is now a game where the strongest characters can make the most currency, and pushing your build to its absolute limit actually matters. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nathan, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you!
Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, Real Human, Zikrak, Squally, Zoljan, Coda, Julia, Alan, Kepler, Sparky, Cata, Fusk, Putzak, Heiser801, Kyle, Logan, Ice Dude, Ginzik, Anonymous, and Orangina. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. If anyone else is interested in joining these awesome people, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/NathanBrotherBob. Or if you have like a free Amazon Prime sub laying around for whatever reason, you can check me out at twitch.tv/NathanBrotherBob. And you can also support me there. That's cool. Or you can just come hang out and watch me. I'm live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 p.m. Central Time. Trying to stick to it a little bit more religiously now. So you should see me at those times. Guaranteed, or your non-existent money back. You can also join my Discord, which it says right there in the bottom right hand corner or in the description below. Yeah, that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you're dying to Awakener less than me, because I'm dying a lot.